Welcome to episode 4 of Monday Night Live Chat with Jersey and I. We are back after a 2-week break. We've been all around the world, not really, but kind of. Jersey, you went to the IWCA. How was the IWCA convention?
I did. But by the way, can you hear me this time? Because last time it said I was unmuted and I wasn't.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was Florida and it was rainy, so it wasn't like super amazingly awesome, but it was good. It was good to see people, you know?
Yeah. You see Sorbo?
I did. Sorbo.
Yeah.
So we did I want to see if I have a cover. I don't. Anyway, so we did for the AWC magazine, we did a cover with him as the Godfather in like a tuxedo.
Yeah.
He loves it. Like, so all of his banners had that magazine cover on there, and he showed up and wore a tuxedo the entire time for 2 straight days.
Wow.
With the rose in his pocket and everything, like the Godfather.
Wow.
It was super dope.
He's an amazing dude. And then what? He had a new tool, little flippy floppy tool there, huh?
Yeah. So like you add it to a regular channel and it makes a flick pad without having a different name. It like you drop it in the channel and it locks, and then there's a bar with a sleeve on it.
Okay. Yeah, there was a guy about 7 months ago who sent me something similar. Maybe it's something similar. I don't know. But hey, it's like every company has that kind of now. Everyone needs some sort of flippy floppy pad to make it work, and that's the way it has to go. But shoot, why not?
I wish it's called a flippy floppy. That would be rad.
Flippy floppy. That's it. Who else was there?
SteveO.
Who else was there?
So attendance wise, it seemed really not super duper crazy, but a lot of pressure washers. A lot of guys that are selling chemicals and hoses and stuff, like kind of like the Huge, but smaller, way smaller. But some of the OGs were there, all the other kind of manufacturers. I'm trying to think of, like, Mormon was there, Dieter was there, which we haven't seen Dieter in like 2 years because of COVID. So he was there. He's always cool to say what's up to. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like, I know when we got back to, Chris was like, tell me all about it. And I'm like, I don't know. There wasn't anything like super remarkable,
Right. And that's like the only kind of like main window cleaning convention, because a bunch of them also are like pressure washing, because it's just that's the bigger market is pressure washing.
Yeah, it's changing though, man. I'm telling you, I feel like we're getting like kicked out. Like there's, in these shows, there's like all the big booths are like pressure washing, soft washing stuff, and then there's some window cleaners there, but those guys just come in force, they like come in and like pressure washers. There is just a whole lot of cheddar being spent in the pressure washing world,
Yeah, I've always noticed that the conventions, like their booths are huge. The LEDs, they're bringing like a whole soft wash truck. They have like it's cool to see, especially when you're not in it. But I mean, it's just kind of like but it's a huge market, so it is what it is. But
speaking of the big LEDs, the giant sign that's LED remote controlled behind you.
Yes, it's my favorite.
You're like, yeah, these guys with their big LEDs and their flashy stuff.
I have to give credit though. I haven't give credit to who made this, but Steve from printing had a guy from WCR, and he's the one that got this made.
Really?
All the way out in they were like close to New York or New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it got shipped out in freight, and when I got it, it's freaking heavy to mount that thing up. It's a big monstrosity. I did not think it was going to be this big, but I'm happy it's that big.
So for everybody, it's giant. So for everybody's watching though, where are you right now? Is this like in your bedroom that is now part of your studio, or is it its own room?
No, I have my own office room.
Boo.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like, if you turn the camera on, there's your bed, and it's just your wife sitting there like,
you SOB, why are you doing this right now?
Yeah. Like to my left this way is my bed. So like
what's in front of you?
Like just on that side of the camera? Yeah. It's just like a desk. It's like another desk. I like them put against the wall here.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, I got to go to New York. That was cool. Go to the Window Resource. I went there last Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Just cool to meet everybody. Cool to go out there, see Chris and Alex, and It was a good time. Got to film a little warehouse video. It was truly like a window cleaner's paradise for me. Still like loving the equipment. It was really cool to like go, touch the new end light. Looked at that. That is super nice. That is awesome. That's
Isn't
really
it?
cool.
The shape is like dope. Like I love the wrap. It just looks cool, but
yep. I mean, it's expensive as shit, but I mean, it's you get what you pay for on that one. And if you ever think about buying it and you're watching this, just know you have to buy like each part like by itself. Like it's like a little kit that you put together through like angle adapters and the brush, and it's all quick snap stuff, and you can have rinse bar, pencil jets, but they're up there. Yeah, they're up there for sure.
Yeah, isn't it weird? Like people think we just like sit around doing other things and all of a sudden answer their phone calls sometimes. But like we're busy. We like are 100% working all day. But we talk to the people in the office like 1,000 times. Like if you could see how many chats we do, like 280 Slacks, which is like inner office stuff every day. So we've talked to everybody like, I mean, all day, every day, all day long, and you don't ever meet them. And then all of a sudden you meet them, and you're like, oh, I've talked to you for like 3 years, but it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's weird because, I've been around for like 4 years for it and kind of talked to people off and on. And then you kind of feel that awkwardness of meeting them the first time, but then you meet them and it's like 2 minutes and you're like, dude, I know these people for so long. It just feels comfortable. Like it was just nice. So it was good.
Have you been here 4 years? Have you been doing this 4 years now?
No, but like the content of like being part of like the creators and just like, being involved and stuff. I've been talking to everybody for like that long. So it's been cool.
There's so many people here, by the way. Josh Rodriguez was first. What's up? Window Guys is here. Ronnie Bill, what's going on? Oh, the man, Jeremy Pummel. Did I see him? I thought I did. Yeah. Name Brand's here, by the way, covering chat if you guys want to talk to him. John Sacco's here. What's up, John Sacco? Just Jacob. Eddie S. I don't know who that is, but sounds like a cool guy. Eddie something. Levi S. What's going on? Vineyard View. Nice.
So you know what the sad thing is about all us here tonight? We're not taking our woman out for dinner, or we're single at home. Just eating a microwave dinner.
Dude, like I after being married for like 17, 18 years, I have 2 daughters, so I like get them like stuff, but like it's just Monday. It's a Hallmark holiday. Somebody had said that before, like it's just invented for Hallmark holidays and cards. And dude, go to a store right now. It's like aisles of just like stuff that people buy their chicks. There's no like aisles for stuff that they buy guys. It's all like flowers and chocolates and stuffed things. And
Alex got a gift for our 7-month-old because he knows what Valentine's Day is. So that's great. So he got stuff, but not me. So
well, I got because I eat keto, so I like got like a keto candy bar, and then like what did I get? A card.
I'm gonna ask this question: any of you do this keto diet? Please say no. Please say no. We have our first question of the night. You want to read it off?
Yes, Joe Alba. By the way, with the like, what are those hands? That's amazing. Claps. You can actually see it when reading it. Oh, claps. There you go. Recommendations on how to keep staff employed through the winter season. Would love to be able to keep guys, girls trained and employed even through the slow times.
How to keep staff employed through the winter season?
I
would say if window cleaning in general, that's just like a root work of having a root work that you can have during the winter. That's what we always did at 2020. What?
You say it like that? Root work?
That's it. Yeah, root.
Root
work.
By the way, if you're in comments, is it route or root? Because it's a whole 1 clip, 2 clip thing again.
This always happens.
There's gonna be people jump in and go, well, I call it round.
Yeah, around or No, I've always called it root work. I don't know. But I think but you did snow removal, but you're in an area when your company where it was winters were a lot worse than like where I'm at. I would get to like single digits a few days, but you could get by it in the first hour. But for you,
I that's really kind of important because it's like so people are like, well, I don't want to waste money. It's so much more of a waste of money to hire new people all the time to like train them and spend all those months doing it and all that stuff. Like if you can keep them happy, that's really, but how, I throw them, I had shop space, and they would just clean the shop, would be washing trucks, detailing things, setting up plows. We did do snow, but you're kind of like Mother Nature's whooping boy. Like some years you get 20 snowfalls. Some years you get 2, so it's tough. We had seasonal unemployment though, where we offer that to people if they want to get laid off, they could.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I always found that we never really made a whole lot. Ryan Fuster, 2 clips. I always found that we never made a lot. It was always like cutting, just getting by. Like you weren't losing any money, you weren't really making any money for those 3 months. And that was it. And that's just kind of how it went. And that's wintertime. And that's what I love about being a window cleaner, though, is that you kind of get that like time off. Like I feel sorry for the guys in like Florida and California. You just never get time off, like Peter Cruz, just all year round, never any time off. I would get tired.
I get burned out because like by the time like fall happens, a big huge push, you're like, don't worry, we just get into December and it's like we can now fix things. You walk around like a battlefield, everything's smoking, and you're like, oh, I gotta fix things. How many clamps are broken, or how many this is gone and that.
But then you get to this time of the year and you start really getting that itch to like get out. You start getting sick of being home. You're done relaxing. It's time to get going. Has anybody noticed an uptick in work? I have seen some posts on Pro of people like saying, hey, like things are picking up, but that's more in the warmer states from what I've seen.
Our like orders, we track, by state, and it's starting to creep up. Have you noticed that? The numbers are starting to go north, but still, I mean, like, nothing coming out of like North Dakota and like, it's
a lot more of like, I need it now.
Yeah. By the way, anybody who's commenting, we want to break our comment record. So just comment if you're either 1 clip or 2 clip. By the way, everybody who said 2 clips, you're wrong. And then if it's a route or route, make sure to do that. But comment if you're here. We'll say what's up. And Che just like took a different one. Che said I used 3 clips. One for each side and an extra for the cash tip.
Okay, that works. That's fine. That works out.
3 clip team. You're one by himself there.
I'm just telling you, man. It's the way to go.
I had people at the show telling me that, by the way.
But
good. 1 clip, 2 clip. Yeah.
Good. And they all said 2, right?
No one said 1 because I only hang out with the right people. Like Damien. Like Damien, 1 clip, boom, and route. He's double right. He's like double right. By the way, you see people trying to spell root, like it's route, not root, and they're like, "Are you?" Like,
I guess I do say it wrong. I guess you could say it because I say root, which is not spelt like that. So yeah, technically I'd be wrong. I will take that one. I will take that, and that I am probably wrong in saying that because I think my whole life, whenever I said to somebody, they're like, what? And I'm like, just go with it. Like, it's fine.
Levi, you're wrong, by the way. Ronnie, you're wrong, by the way. But here's the thing. If you're wrong about roots, maybe you're wrong about 2 clips. Maybe 1 clip's the way to go, and you just don't know.
I don't know, man. You got Fuster on here saying, like, 2 clips. You got Ronnie Bill on here saying 2 clips.
This is the Fuster.
So many people. So many.
Well,
we got another question from Mike's Entrepreneur Journey. So I mentioned this to someone at WCR, but never heard anything from it. Is there a mod coming for the Alpha Scrubber to have the pencil jets in the middle versus only the rinse bar on top?
No, because there is a rinse bar, so there would be no point to having jets on that. And because it's not bristled, it's actually there's a pad. You need to have more water for that kind of reduction in resistance, if you will. So. Rinse bar. I don't know. That's a Tucker thing, though. Maybe
you could add one. I mean, they're on those blocks that you get with the Tucker Alpha Scrubber. You could buy a pair of pencil jets. You could put them in. You can make a cut in the pad if you wanted to do it. It's easily modified. Totally, that you can do it. Craig did it recently to the Zero Contact Scrubber, that new one. He created pencil jets in it. But yeah, I mean, it's not something that you absolutely need. But if you like pencil jets, you could definitely do it. There's not a reason not, but I don't think Tucker will ever make it, because could you imagine someone sitting in there and they have to cut the square and then cut out the circles in each one? That's probably why it's not going to happen ever.
They can get those cut without having like a die in them, and like save so much. To add that die cut to cut the jets out, if they did that on their own, would probably add like $1 or like 50 cents a pad or something crazy. It's absurd.
Yeah. That's all it is for like modifications like that. It's just, that's it. So,
yeah. Missed one said it's picked up here in NC Mountains this month last year. I think this time it did not hardly do anything. So this time last year he wasn't doing anything and it's picking up. Where in the mountains are you in NC, by the way? So that's cool. That means that they're picking up. And mountains are cold, man. I was just up there yesterday. What day is it? Yeah, Monday. Yeah, I was there yesterday. Like it was snowing, so that's pretty good.
You've been getting a lot of snow in North Carolina. You guys don't usually get that, right?
No, well, a lot of snow. It snowed 3 times, but outside of Charlotte, it was the first time it ever snowed 3 weekends in a row ever in history. And it was because like my dad was here in town from Wisconsin. He brings cold weather with him, but it was like, a dusting. People are like, oh, close it down.
We had a very, very snowy January. If anyone here in Colorado knows, I mean, it wasn't like, it just felt like every Wednesday or every weekend for a bit. We got snow coming this Wednesday, but I did a home today. It wasn't bad, but there's snow all around. There's snow on the roof and, but hey, I feel like though there's a little bit, it was 60 degrees today. I mean, that's pretty nice. So here's why Mike says that you need it, why you need the pencil jets and the alpha scrubber. The reason why it needs is because when you only use the scrubber, you end up getting water all over the frame, which you done usually clean when only using the pad. Hope that it does make sense to me because I don't like that tool. I'm not a fan of the alpha scrubber just because I like having the brush bristles to be able to clean the frames first. And I've never really been a fan. And I agree. Then you can't hit the frames and you get water all over them. And so you could do an angle, but what?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's not really made for a window with a frame because you can't clean the frame. You're not gonna water feed without cleaning a frame.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you a question. In your days of commercial water-fed pole work, if a new guy came up, how would you teach him how to clean commercial frames? I think commercial frames with that rubber seal are probably some of people's biggest, where you get the most like drips. Yeah. Just because those seals hold in so much water.
I've never really had a problem with those frames. Like people here, I know that we get like some stuff every now and then, but like I think it's just crappy windows too. Like we'd do some of them where the commercial were like you were literally like you'd be rinsing off the frame and it would just be pouring out like mud, and that there's like daubers in there or like just dust, like especially on a windy side of a building. Like if there's always wind, you're gonna get dust build up. But like I didn't have a big problem with like that like seal stuff in there. Do you have a big problem with that usually?
Do I have a big problem? I have a huge problem with it.
You got a problem with
No, actually the most I ever had bad was I used the alpha scrubber and that rinse bar got that like, and I just, you get after 40 windows in a row, you start getting a little bit lazy and you start getting a little quick and you just start, being like, I want to get this done, man. Yeah. So the worst trips I've had is with that alpha scrubber on like a commercial job.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I have had jobs where, and I haven't personally cleaned. I ran a company, not did the cleaning for a lot of it. But I'd have jobs where it was like a big project that they like rocked out and you're like done and it took them like 10 hours. The last like 2 hours, there was maybe a little bit more there because they're just like trying to rock it out and they saw the finish line. But I didn't have too much of like a huge issue with that though. But I think it's area, man. Like, especially if you got really dirty like air or like if not you're in an area like that with like a lot of smoke stuff, mountains, Oregon, like Washington State and that kind of thing. There's a lot of areas that they have more problem with that just because there's more in the air. Right.
We got a lot of questions here, buddy.
Yes.
I came up from that. Man overboard. Beginner here. Lowest temperature I get is in the low 50s. Would that require a soft rubber? I don't really think so.
Soft rubber for everything. I hate hard rubber. To me feels like gas station. When you like wash your windshield with the gas station thing?
Oh yeah.
That's what hard rubber feels like. I personally hate hard rubber.
The two like hardest rubbers are Pulex and Unger. Unger hard rubber is almost unworkable for me. So like I consider Ettore to be like an in-between. That's how I consider it to be. And then I just use soft in the in the wintertime, and then use soft. Like the blue NXTR rubber is super good. But yeah, okay. So here's the answer to your question is if you're in the 50s, I wouldn't really worry about it. And you could probably play around with rubbers as far as what you want to try to use for your squeegee.
Yep. And by the way, there's multiple people having their own conversation that I'm going to jump in. Where did I just missed it? Oxidation, Shay was talking about, same thing with that. But EJ said Xero Max or X2. And Ronnie said, sorry, WCR Tucker 4060. We also sell the Tucker 4060, so you don't have to be sorry about that. But between the Max and the X2, I would go probably Max, just because there's a huge price difference and you're getting really kind of the same thing. And everything being in-house, it's a lot quicker to be like, if there's an issue with shipping has been just, more of a headache lately. But if something's an issue, it literally ships out same day. Like if you ever have a warranty issue, it's shipped out that day compared to kind of something else that we may not have in house. So, and the 4060, that's a killer system as far as like flow goes. I'm not as much of a fan of the non-proprietary stuff in it, like where you have to use the cartridges, but you get some speed out of like making changes and stuff. But I like
that's a super good point that you made though about like, I think you should just go with once you get to 4060 X2 and the Max, you're pretty much looking at similar outputs. And then it comes down to which do you like better? And then the cost of the filters after the point. And right now, if you do look at the filter cost for a Tucker 4060, it is the highest as far as what you will pay over time, more with the RO than with like the carbon and resin, which is going to come after, 2 or 3 years, but it is the highest cost system. And then between the Max and the X2, one thing that's really nice about the Max is you're going to have just a little bit lighter weight due to that. Now you have a 10-inch DI instead of a 20-inch DI. And then you got it a little bit more organized, and then you got it stacked in the back, carbon DI, and the handle, the way it comes out, makes it a little bit nicer for traveling in the car. It's just a little bit slender because you don't have, ROs in the middle, carbon, and then DI. You just got those all lined up. And I think a really nice thing about kind of the new systems that are coming out that I don't think a lot of people know is that with the older Xero Pures, you were always getting something you got to put the wheels on, you got to put the axle on. Now you just get these, take them out, you do the RO saturation process, boom, in like 12 hours or overnight, you'll be able to use it the next day. And that's it. And you don't have, in these systems, you don't have any flush that you have to do when you first start it up, which is something that is as to do with the 4060 and the Tucker RODI card. But that's just Tucker. Tucker's a great company. That's just what they do with their systems. So there's a lot of ways you can play with that, but I definitely think that the Max now is going to be a better system if that's what you're looking to run, like 2 poles. And there's some different like wastewater valve stuff that I think is allowing higher flow on these newer systems than the older systems.
Yeah, for sure. And Mike asked one more thing. He said, how about you both handling the frames when there's oxidation? If you hit the frames that have oxidation, it will drip white smears all over. If you clean the frame, they won't drip. So you clean the frame, scrub that all off, and it's gone. You don't have to worry about that. That's the best thing about water fed is if you do have oxidation, you're scrubbing all that off, and you just scrub until there's no more white water, and you're golden. That's at least what I do. By the way, Cameron Kidd, you're wrong. 2 clips in the Quicksilver. It comes with 2, so it's supposed to be 2 clips. It's wrong. They just give you a free clip. I'm telling you.
Oh, 2 clips in the Quicksilver?
Yeah.
It's totally needed. Needed.
And Just Jacob, I used to be a Super Channel guy all the way, tried Sorbo, and then have been using them since. So, Super Channel to Sorbo. You're a Super Channel guy, though.
Huh?
You're a Super Channel guy, right?
For Ettore?
Yeah. Or are you a Sorbo guy?
I'll use Sorbo. I absolutely hate the Super Channel. I think it's like the worst thing ever.
Really?
I think, yeah. I like the old design they used to have before Luke put his big mouth in there and changed it with Ettore.
Luke who? Come on.
Yeah. You got them to change it, but I think there's just so much rubber over top of the channel that it's just a very fragile touch to it. You got to have a very soft touch to make it work. And I've never liked it since they changed it all. You can 24-inch, 30-inch, great. But yeah, it's great. Hey, TJ, I can't turn it off, bro. He's telling me to turn autofocus off. This camera is just different, man. And you know what it messes it up that I never thought about was this. This basically messes it up and makes this thing like off focus. So it's my fault. And this thing, I should have done it in matte so you guys don't see everything that's going on in the background. But that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Look at this, TJ. You got one pro over here, and mine doesn't autofocus on nothing because I'm using a laptop. I don't have a thing in here. What's up to TJ, by the way? #1 podcast. What's going on?
Yeah. Welcome. This is the first time I've seen you on here, bro.
Yeah, one other thing too. Speaking of Luke who, #Luke who, you now are over 20,000 subs on your YouTube page.
Yeah, but started this channel in 2012, so you average it out. It's not very good.
I won't tell you because I don't post anything on my channel, but I have like 42 subs. So,
oh dang, you go subscribe to what is it under Jersey W Nation?
Don't even waste your time.
Okay, well you can link it.
I don't even post on it anymore, man. Like, there's content, but then reposting content and putting more content, it's like whatever. People, if they want stuff, they end up getting the magazine subscription. That's happy enough for me. So
I'm going to go back to Mike's question real quickly about oxidation. I know you kind of answered a little bit.
Yeah.
So how are you both handling the frames when there's oxidation? Oh, were you talking to someone else in here about this? Is this another side conversation going on? It doesn't look like it.
No, that was the one about how do you, I interrupted you because it was like an easy question, but like, how do you deal with oxidation if you're water feeding?
I think you just go after it. There's some people that won't go after it at all and they'll just stay away from the frames. I'm one where I just go after it, clean off the frame, rinse it all down. It is a longer rinse. It is more tedious. It just is going to be, but doing the extra tedious work to me eliminates the possibility of having too many drips, but it's possible on an oxidation job. You might get 1 or 2 drips. I find that the rinse bar and a good Boris hair brush just works. I have a video where I showed it and I waited for that job for 2.5 years to make that video. Like literally, that's how weird I am. Yeah. So
boom, yeah. 20,000 subs because of stuff like that. I waited for Windows to oxidize. The opposite of paint drying.
Oh, you were asking me about the wide body channel, Sorbo or Ettore. Always Sorbo, man. I think Sorbo or even Luke's channel is actually pretty nice. That is a really nice wide body channel.
Is it not a clone though? Have you looked at it close enough? Is it just a clone?
It's not a clone in that it's close to what you would see on like an Unger Ninja channel if you took the clips off. But you can't fit a brass clip in an Unger Ninja channel if you take those clips off. But his channel you can. And I think the only thing that would help it is if the ends were cut in at the 45-degree angle like Sorbo does. I think that's the only thing. And then once that would be good, that thing would be really, really nice in the corners.
Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about how nice Sorbo is, but he's such a good guy. I talk to him a lot, but he's just so nice. He's just genuinely, amazingly nice.
He does reach out to a lot of people in the community too.
It's like the new Sorbo though.
Huh?
He's like the new Sorbo. Like 2 years of this, he's kind of just changed, and it's been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he came to me and asked me because I kind of talked crap about his rubbers for a while, and he wasn't too happy about that. So
I've never heard you talk about crap about anybody's products before. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, never. Nope, never. Squeegee Life, what's the best soap to use? Your mom's.
I only import this Yugoslavian soap that I use. Only me and 2 other people know about it.
Dawn, bro, you know it. Ammonia. Storm window tips. Got one coming up from Roman G. What's your storm window tip? Run?
Yeah, dude. Storm window. Well, storm windows suck so much more. Chase said charge more than you think. Like our starting price was $30 a window for storms, and we went up to like $65 a window, depending on if they were like cut ups and stuff. Yeah, and then reglazing is on top of that. So I've done jobs where it's been over $100 a window because we reglazed and cleaned and did screens and everything, and it was like sucky.
Nice though. 65 for like a set, like a 2-pane, and then a
6/6 storm. Yeah, it'd be like a 6/6 and then like a 2/2 storm. We had like a lot of common where the top piece of a double hung was just split right down the middle lengthwise. Yeah. So it was like 2/2 with a 6/6 storm set on outside that was all wood.
If I was to say that price here, I got yelled at, I would say about 8 years ago from a guy who I was doing $20 per That's a while ago. $20 per a double hung set for 4 panes and all. Take that apart, and man, that guy, he got a different bid, and he called me and yelled at me. So I'm afraid to go a little bit. I don't really do much of that stuff, but over 35, I can't go above it here. But usually no one even goes for that though. It's very
even if though, then you're not really missing out on anything. And then if somebody gets mad and they're like, "Oh, you charge too much," we're like, "Okay, cool." Like no one calls and says, "Hey, your products are too." Like, look at grocery stores. I always say that. Like, look at grocery stores. Everybody has an expensive grocery store in their area and a cheap one in their area, and people still go to the expensive one. It's the same groceries, but they get a better experience. It's like that concept. It's not for everybody. People are still shopping at Walmart where there's like nothing on the shelf and broken chips all over the floor, and people are like, "Yeah, but it's cheaper."
But a restaurant or a grocery store like Whole Foods is too much. To me, that's too much. Oh, you shop at Whole Foods?
No. Oh, things aren't that good. No, I do. So being that I eat funky stuff, some of those stores have things that other stores don't. So I do like to go to, like, in the South, we have a Harris Teeter, which is fancy, and like a Lowe's Food. I don't like normally shop there, but I hate Walmart with a passion. I still go there every now and then, but every time I'm there, as soon as I walk through the doors, I'm like, I hate this place. Why am I here? Like, as soon as I see the first like can of paint dumped over on the floor or something, I'm like.
The apartments that I lived in before we purchased our home was a block. Like, you just went over a street and it was a Walmart, just a super center Walmart. Police would be there all the time. It just like going in there all the time, and being in a lot of Walmarts in college and buying food. Like, for me anymore, like, it's good for some stuff. You need to grab some. I get all my like bath towels that I get for cleaning windows, like all my cheap ass ones. I get all there. But I don't like going there, but I do not go to Whole Foods. That's too much for me. Way too much. Oh wait, no, go ahead. What?
I was gonna say, are you not shopping at like Goodwill for your towels? Do they have them there, or does it just make more sense to just go to Walmart?
Walmart has the cheapest slop bath towels, and you can buy like 15 for $20.
Wow. You select the giant things? Are they like real bath towels like you?
No. They're light. Gosh, size wise. Oh, I don't know. You see, the people know my video. They're not crazy huge. People rag on me all the time about it.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I always.
I just realized I forgot to tell you who I met at IWCA. Speaking of rags,
please tell us. Please tell us all about it. How was it? How did it go?
Jay was there. Jay Camararo, and he's like the calmest, quietest person. You ever meet one of those guys who you're like, this dude is just gonna be off his, and you meet him and he's like, hey man, hey, I just wanted to say like thanks for everything, like he's like the coolest, like calmest dude in person ever.
Wow.
It blew me away, and I didn't even recognize him. He was talking and talking. People like kind of stare at you and you're like, I don't really know. And then as soon as somebody's like, oh, that's Jay, and I was like, oh,
he's back. How can you not tell who he was? I mean, I saw a picture and he had the same hair.
I didn't even put it together.
Yeah.
Didn't even put it together. But anyway, I'm sorry. I forgot when you said regs, then I met him.
If he's watching this, I don't think he can comment. I think I blocked you. I think I blocked him a long time ago.
He's back.
I don't mind that he's back. Him and I are cool. I'm not gonna, it is what it is. But man, he was for a long time. DJ could say, a lot of people could say, he's just constantly just starting stuff for no freaking reason. But it's fun. It's fun. I get it. It's fine.
Tell us how you really feel.
You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that.
You know that like thing with like the all the multicolors and the Indian in the middle. Whenever there was like we're experiencing technical difficulties, as soon as you start talking, one of those pops up.
Yeah. Would you punch Camaro? Would you? See, and that's the thing is that I did see him last time when he was on Squeegee Life, and it just seemed like things really didn't change. So then it's good though. You guys saw him in person. It's good.
Mark Tanner was there with us, and Mark talked to him for like 30 minutes in real life. Nice. I thought for sure, it was going.
I get to meet Mark in a week and a half. I'm pretty freaking excited.
He has like the softest eyes of anybody you'll see. It's
that's nice. Yeah. We'll get dinner together, sit across from each other. It'll be nice.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh, Jersey, this is a great question for you, you energy drink junkie. Hey, Jersey SteveO, What's your go-to energy drink on the job?
I have to catch an energy drink before I leave the house in the morning. So I don't drink on the job, but it's bang.
Bangs.
No carbs,
Bangs.
no sugar. Yeah.
I'm the worst. Monster Mango. It's sugar filled, but I've been really, really good since probably the last 8 months, maybe one a month, and that's it. I was having 20 a month for sure, easy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's horrible.
They're one of those things that, like, you know, if you drink coffee, it's kind of the same, just not on a caffeine thing. It just depends on what you think about caffeine too. Like, I like don't feel like I get too terribly affected by it, but it like calms my ADD down for the first like 4 hours before it starts wearing off. So
yeah. And like I know, sorry TJ, to keep bringing you up, but I know he had a time where drinking energy drinks really kind of hit him hard. I had a time where when I was 18, I was working for a moving company, and I was just like chugging like 3 a day of Monsters back in the day when they were real hype, and I like burned down. Yeah,
that's like 300 milligrams of caffeine in a per thing. That's 900. That's nuts.
It was really dumb. It was really stupid.
Did you like taste colors?
Yeah, bro, it's pretty awesome. But I'll tell you what happened to me is it actually burned a area of like my track and down to the nerves of like when I would drink, and it would like I would have shooting pains across my chest, and I had to take a medication for like a decade to rebuild that area.
You win.
Yeah.
You win. Yeah. That's like even worse than like people who are like, oh, I got, you know, kidney stones or something.
You know who's worse is Austin. You just said it. If I have one job, I have one Red Bull. If I have 5 jobs, I have 5 Red Bulls.
Austin is killing himself, and you're like, so I don't want to be that guy, but he's so young. He's like invincible still.
So much ahead of you. So much ahead of you.
So much potential. That's so much potential, Austin.
Sean Weatherly, what happened to Jordy? The window cleans no longer at WCR. Yes, Jordy does no longer work at WCR. Really, no comments on it as far as it's kind of Jordy's biz. So we kind of just keep it to that. And I do know his channel is gone, but man, he's a good guy. But yeah, you know, things do happen. So, but I really don't know. I really, truly do not know. So we decide not to really comment on it. I know it's a pretty awkward like answer, but that's the only thing I could really say.
He's private too, though. It's like Luke. Like people like want to know like a actual answer, and it's just kind of like, just not like
Like Luke is always doing awesome. It's just, you know, he has his biz and he's doing awesome. It's just for us, we're just social media junkies, so we're just always going to be here bothering you every single year, every single season, every single year.
How long until you just are done in the biz? You're like the new kid, the new face. Are you going to get burnt out?
Probably some point. Probably get burnt out.
I'll probably get burnt out. Get a little bitter.
What?
Well, I said we all get burnt out and then get a little bitter for a little bit and then come back. You know.
I've had my moments though. If like I've had my moments where I take some time off, and I'm never very good though about taking time off. I'll take like 2 weeks off. I'll say I'll take a month off. I'll miss it. Sometimes I'll be on like a kick of like, oh, I want to do a video series on this. I do one video and I'm like, this sucks. Canning that. I don't want to do that. I will definitely probably at some point just kind of get sick of like I don't really like making vlogs anymore. Vlogs suck to make. I don't like making those. I never really liked to make them, but they started to become popular, so I kind of put it in, and I would kind of like to start dabbling with some different things with this channel as time goes on too. And I don't know, man, just see where it goes. But I'm always going to probably be involved in the window cleaning industry. I'd actually love to start learning a little bit more about pressure washing. That's something I may dabble in with my business and do a little bit more exterior services and just kind of slowly work into it and see if something is there.
Yeah. I want to know if TJ would really punch Jacob in the face if they met, because that's what Jacob thinks.
Oh, man.
I would like to know that. And then Eddie said, if y'all got in a fight, who would win? And I think he's talking about Jacob and TJ. I don't know. I don't know that I've met Jacob in real life. I think I have.
You're talking Jacob Dell?
No, that's just Jacob. I think that's Jacob.
Jacob Williams?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, down in Florida. Oh. Man, I think Jacob Williams does some jiu-jitsu. Am I right, Jacob? Jacob always battle. He always wants to battle me to a jiu-jitsu match. He always says that.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe
But
someday.
TJ's a teddy bear, but TJ's got like street in him. Like I could just imagine like I could imagine just TJ like putting the tape on his hand and dipping it in broken glass like that. I could see TJ doing like that. Seems like that's in his wheelhouse.
If I was at a bar and a fight started, and TJ was on one side, a bunch of guys on the other side, I'd probably just go on TJ's side and get behind him.
Right. I just slowly move over like, hey man, what's going on? Just hide behind him.
I think by the time TJ said just enough to them, they would just cowl and walk away. I just feel that. I just feel like it's awesome. It's awesome.
I know that TJ and Mark and probably actually Seth too. Those guys, like they would be the ones where some guy would start talking crap to them and they wouldn't get all angry. They'd just be like, what is this dude doing? Are you seriously like that's how the whole thing would go? And it would just worry everybody because they'd just be calm about it.
Yeah. And it is true. Like TJ says, not anymore. And you do like I used to work in a lot of bars and from like 18 to 22, get a lot of fights, and you just realize after time, it's like it is not worth it. It is not worth it at all. And even self-defense, I've gotten in legal trouble because of self-defense before, and it never comes out good. No matter if you win or not, you're never happy about it. It achieves nothing. But you have to go through that period in life where you do some stupid stuff, and that's it. So
see when you get in a fight, there are no like winners because you're both sore and just like I'm just a taller, bigger person, so people just don't ever fight me.
Yeah. If you all met Josh, you wouldn't fight him.
They just talk crap online, and then I meet them in real life, and they're like, "Oh, remember that one time that I said that thing? Just kidding."
That's good though. It's good you have that on people, man. That's a nice trait to have. Like seriously.
Yeah. I have on my cameras, so I'm like this, and then people think I'm real little, and then.
You ever had an employee try to fight you?
No, I only had like one time. I had a relative of an employee tried to fight me, but that was it.
Wow, really?
Because he didn't know there was a connection. I don't think.
Oh dang! So this like wasn't at work?
No, it was at we did this. It was a pub, but it was like this giant like restaurant, and then we just like had an open. So we'd go there every Friday and like eat, and we just always did their stuff, and it was just like neither of us ever charged each other for anything. And I just happened to be there one night, and people know me. I don't like drink really, but I was there, and some guy was like, "Hey, can I use a stool?" And I like looked behind me. I'm like, "Yeah." And I turned around, and he's like, "Can I break it over your head?"
Oh my god!
I was like, "What? What did you just say?" And that was the thing. I started laughing. Anyway, that was like the dude's cousin, the guy that worked for me. That was his cousin.
Oh man!
But he like saw me talking to my employee's sister, who I known for all of my life, pretty much. And he like got some weird like I'm gonna do something.
Yeah,
I literally walked him out of the bar by like the cuff of his shirt because I knew the owner. So I'm like walked him up to the bouncer at the front door. I'm like, make sure this guy doesn't come back in, like because you get tickets, and then the restaurant gets in trouble. I'm like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah, I got written up when I worked at Fish for a guy got mad at me, and I was being a young dumb butt, and I was really mad at him that he wasn't fanning French windows. And he was just going through and just straight pulling them as fast as he could, like all the basements. And he was kind of like the new guy. And I was like, I was just pumped up. I was just a hothead. I was dumb. It was a dumb moment.
You were on Monster number 3 and it came out?
Yeah, man. It was a really dumb moment. And I like went up to him, and I was like the manager on the job. And I was like, dude, you have to fan. Like, take the squeegee, do it right. And he like threw down his belt. He's like, F you, I quit. And then he like came at me at the car. And we got into like a whole wrestling match and like slammed up against the car. And in the middle of this, I freaking popped out my rib, got like horribly injured. It turned into this big fiasco. It was so embarrassing. The people it was a really good job too, and they almost lost the job. It was just completely embarrassing. And me and the guy quit, I think like a week later, never made up. I would see him around town. And it was just like the most awkward thing. I was like, I can never have that happen again, like in my life. Like worst experience. It's just not good to get in fights at work. It's just not good.
Well, Jacob said that he would fight me, so that's cool. I got that going for me.
All of us. I've seen this so much from you, Jacob.
I got that. That's good. I got it going for me. Glass Money said that I would win on that fight, though.
how we got into all these Indian leg wrestling I see here match from Mike. My gosh. Oh man, people getting in fights here. Oh no.
The window guys, if I would watch Eddie and Mike get in any kind of anything, they could do an arm wrestle and I'd want to watch. I'd just be like, this is great.
Oh no, it's turned into a big. Oh, so Ronnie, you asked about Perry Tate being on. That probably won't happen. I'll be quite honest. I don't think Perry would come on here.
He's still
I
in
don't
the
know if we
industry.
had Perry on here.
I don't know.
He's still relevant.
I haven't heard of him. I mean, I've heard the name, I think, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and Jersey would never fight. It's just as simple as that. We just wouldn't. We're just. It's just not going to happen. Let's see here. Just question marks. What's going on here?
He said, "Place your bets, Josh versus Alex." I don't know. I wouldn't fight the brothers. I don't think Alex has ever gotten a fight either. I couldn't imagine.
I think Alex would kick a lot of people's butts though. I really do think so.
And what my nose is already crooked. Is this what Trixie's talking about? Can you break your nose to smell?
Who is this?
I don't know who that is. They're spamming.
Same
We're gonna have so many comments this time. It's gonna be great.
Thanks, Trixie Labs. My God. Yeah. Trixie is broken. I'd agree with you, Michael. Yeah. Michael is a Glass Monkey window cleaning.
Oh yeah,
okay. Very cool guy. Yeah, awesome guy. Yeah, it's cool.
Have you ever met window cleaners from customers of yours that happen to be coming through the area? Now, you're super busy, so I know that doesn't happen a lot. But have you ever done that where you're know of somebody only, or does that not happen too often?
I will meet up with local guys. There's a lot of local guys that I've worked with that aren't even really. They don't even really buy through me or anything, but I've always really enjoyed working with local window cleaners who are already window cleaners. The only thing that I'm not too keen on that I do get asked a lot about is can I come work with you as a brand new newbie? And I don't think a lot of people understand in 1 to 2 days, I'm not going to be able to teach you a lot. And then I'm also going to have to worry about what you're doing. And if anything, usually training a newbie, it's 2 weeks of I consider it not hell, but it's 2 weeks of really watching over. And then I have to think about, okay, what's the customer experience going to be like?
Yeah.
I'm just a person, I go out, I turn my headphones on. I just like cleaning to me is a true, how weird it sounds, a serenity piece that I really, really enjoy. And that I will always have to do and to kind of have in my life. That's how I am. Like John Lee, John Lee cleaned until he really couldn't anymore, that it was just a really big passion for him. You and I've talked, you like the business side more, where I kind of like the actual, that's why this all works out so nicely, because we're both kind of opposites as far as that goes. But I really like meeting up with local window cleaners. I think one of the best ones ever, not saying no one was, but I met up with a local window cleaner named Max, and we did a building together, and it was his first time kind of seeing water fed. And I think it kind of opened up his eyes to kind of see how much he could do. And boom, he went out, I think in the next 2 weeks and got a water fed system and was off to the races. And I thought it was just cool because I think he had experience. I just don't think he had much experience with water fed. It just took one job. And if anything, I just think there's enough windows out there for everybody that I've never, ever been mean to competition. I've been flicked off by a number of people, but I just always love all the people that I can talk to that are local. But if someone comes through my town, yes, I'm not huge on oh, let's meet up, because as you know, we're super busy. We're super busy, and it's hard just to get that family time, to get that peace. And so to have that, I have to have that sometimes, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that the working for you thing is almost impossible to make that make sense, because it just costs you money. And that's cool. You put out enough content, I try to put out enough content to help people. But if it comes and all of a sudden now you're almost babysitting, and then the customer's this guy got new people. Why are there new people on my windows? Why are you? And all of a sudden your efficiency's down and you're trying to help somebody. The whole working with you thing is ridiculously hard. The other thing is that you run a business, you run two businesses, really. You have your windows and then you have sales. So people oh, what if I flew you out here? It's that's an awesome offer. It's just impossible to do. It's really impossible.
Because while I'm trying to train you, when I go clean windows, There's also like, a number of you watching, I've talked to you while I'm cleaning windows. Like you've heard the scraping on the glass. Like we're talking about a water fed pole or just customer service. So yeah.
Evan, yes, I was just gonna say, call SteveO direct. He's got a cell phone on there. You can call him, and he can be your actual rep. You can message him, text him, call him, whatever.
Evan, you better get that new In-N-Out down by Thornton. That's what you better. We'll meet there. You'll get the windows. We'll have a burger, and you put your order in there. In-N-Out is in Colorado.
Really?
It's not that good, really, but it's just cool that we have it. That's
one of those things people freak out to.
It's like an NFT. We just have it, and it's cool. So we're cool because of it. That's it.
Have you ever had a Culver's?
Oh yeah, we have Culver's here. Yep.
That is better than any restaurant around.
Extreme chest pain comes from Culver's. Those butter burgers kill me. Absolutely kill me. I've had many almost heart attacks leaving Culver's.
So worth it though.
I had to chug so much water.
Culver's is better. Damien's right. Name Brand brought his Texas logic in here with Whataburger.
I do like Whataburger though. If I've been in Texas,
is it better than Culver's?
Huh?
Is it better than Culver's?
I'm an A&W guy. You ever have A&W?
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, I have an A&W in our town. That's a classic, like one from like 60s or 70s, and that's the one I go to all the time. And it's good. Good.
While we say the next question, tell us what your favorite burger place is, what it is. If it's Culver's, if it's A&W, if it's Whataburger, which is not Austin, I'm sorry, or if it's In-N-Out. But there is a real question, not about burgers or fighting, from Vegas Collector. Can you talk about paying employees? What's your caps on hourly wages, and do you pay percentage, etc.?
Geez, man, I think that's like really dependent on your business model, on what you want to do, because there's pros and cons to paying a commission or to be paying hourly. There's a lot of stuff you could talk about there, because I would say like, okay, if you paid someone on commission, there's different rules that you could do if they use their own car or a company car. I think personally, from having a lot of people work for us through 2020 who also worked on commission, and I've worked on commission, I've worked on hourly, I've worked on salary, I would always pick hourly over top of commission, because I always found that maybe the places I worked, the commission was just never enough for the time that I put in. But I worked somewhere when I worked a commission that was not good price. But I think if you work somewhere, like I never understood this. Did you ever do this, Josh, where you hired guys and you almost gave them like a 60-40 split, like them 60, you 40?
Yeah. And the pros and cons thing that you're talking about totally makes sense, because if you're like commission, do you rush it because you make more? And then if you're paid hourly, do you go too slow because you make more? Like there's pros and cons to kind of both of them, but I was always hourly. Hourly just makes an easier sense, because I can also have a guy who comes back and I can be like, okay, all this is done, but go ahead and clean that truck out, and then we're going to pick up the back of the shop or what. I mean, like you could do all that stuff, where a commission, you can't really do that. I don't know.
And here's one thing that's weird about hourly versus commission too, that I found at some places, is that some places were like, once you clocked in, you went hourly until you got done with your last job, and that was it. Yeah. Now, that's kind of dependent on like, are you having them come back to a office and put their stuff away? So maybe you should pay them for that time. Or are they just like, are they using their own truck and they're going right home? So there's just a lot of things to think about. But I would encourage, because I think that hourly is better. And I like telling my employees, like at the time, hey, you're paid hourly. Like, let's just slow down. Let's make sure it's done right. Yeah. And I never felt like they were in a rush, where everybody that worked with on commission cut corners like no other all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They like gamble. And then if they have to go back, they know it's on their own dime anyway, So it's like almost. But I always did that as soon as. So we had people start coming in at 8:30, and they didn't leave the office or the shops until 9 o'clock. But that 30 minutes they always got paid for, because they're setting the trucks up. They're getting their stuff ready. Like, whatever, man. I'm going to pay people as much as I possibly can and keep them happy, because I don't want to have to hire them again.
Yep. Yeah.
How about Antonio Howell? Did you see that one? When do you know when it's time to hire your first employee?
I think we would probably have different answers on this, because for your model, it was kind of like, I want to get people in right away, and right.
Yeah. Yeah. I did one job without an employee. And it was horrible though. I did a machine shop in the coldest day that year. It was like January, my first job I ever did. And it took me 4 hours and like 12 minutes. And we had that job when I sold the company, and it took us like 20 minutes. We were in and out like 20 minutes with dropping everything off. It tells you how slow I was, but yeah.
Yeah, I always say that, I say this to a lot of people, when you find that you are like a prisoner to your business and you are just working like overtime killer hours, that's the time I would say that you should at least hire one guy. I would subcontract him if you want to not do, maybe they have their own insurance, you pay them pretty well. Maybe you don't want to pay workman's comp, all that stuff that can get pretty costly. But there's definitely ways to do it. And there's definitely ways to take that burden off of you of having so much work, because enough time of that, you're going to get burnt out no matter what. And so, and like, even having somebody as like almost a helper, that's a lot of times, like when someone started with us at 2020, it was kind of like, help us get the ladders out, help set up. And they kind of learn after that, let them do the basement windows, let them do the windows that don't matter, and just, go from there. But I think that's what I would think, is like when you're really like pushing it and you're like, dude, like I have no time in my day, I have no time in my life, hire somebody. Or if that's your business model, start hiring people right away and really push it.
Damien had it right too. He said when you're booked out about 3 weeks. Ronnie said that when you're taking time away from the family, and you have to know your priorities. Like this is every business ever, by the way, is you get into business for the freedom. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want somebody to tell me what to do. I want the freedom. And then as soon as they start making the money, they're like, all right, well, now I'm a slave to the money. And it's like, I got to make as much as I possibly can. And all of a sudden they don't. I mean, these guys are like, oh, you're going to the huge convention? They're like, nah, man, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
You chose over freedom. You chose money, man.
But then again, you meet some and they just like that. Like that's just their personality, and they would rather it be that way than any other way. And so that's where you see so many different models in this business of, Yeah.
And the employer not when to, it's just a cut back. Like you said, like I didn't work weekends. Never. I said that from the beginning. Like if I ever started work, actually, when I started work, I said I would never start before 10 a.m. And that only lasted like 6 months. And then we started before 10, obviously. But I was like, I'm not working weekends. And I maybe worked like 3 weekends and, 3 Saturdays in my entire like 16 years, But what it was as soon as you have like, I'm working 40, 50 hours a week, but I'm doing it for like a month. I'm booked out maybe a month or two. It's not even busy season and I'm booked out a month. It's too much, because when somebody calls you and you're like, all right, great. It's like this time of year and you're like, all right, we can get you in June 27th. And it's like, well, as soon as you start losing jobs because you're booked out too far, it's time to hire somebody, and that brings the whole calendar back. You can get more work done. Yeah.
That's for sure. Eddie S., y'all smokers, like being stuck in a truck driving with a smoker. Smoking thing that's all personal preference as well, really. Like if you're going to be a smoker, then you're going to be a smoker. Maybe you got some Listerine and some cologne that you spray on before you go in a house. I don't know. I know that when I was a smoker, for the first couple of years, I did just root work and everything. It was, I know I changed it already. Yep, I'm gonna change it. I'm going. I don't know. We didn't allow it from our employees, to be quite honest with you. That was just a rule that we had. But I've worked with many who smoked like chimneys all day long, and that was just them, and that's the way they wanted to work, and I think that's fine too.
That's tough, man, especially in North Carolina, which we grow tobacco here, but no one smokes around. So anytime you do smell it, it's like, whoa, it's like, I smelled like that back then. Like you'd think that you're like, no, I had the window open, but like people have to smell it. It's the more and more uncommon it becomes, the more and more just gross it was. Like back in the day when everybody smoked, you could smoke in hospitals and airplanes. Nobody cared because it just was everywhere. But I think it just gets worse.
You know what I told the guy at the time who was smoking heavy? I told him, if you want to bring a vape to get the tobacco, that's fine. Like if any of those flavors smell fine, I don't have any problem with that. It's just the smell.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't allow it my own personal deal because I didn't smoke. And that was the only reason for that. But if, if you were fine with it, you were fine with it. So, yeah.
Mike just said that he doesn't smoke, but he does poop in customers' houses.
Yes, he does. Yes. Oh my gosh. So let's make this like the final thing. You asked a really good question on Pro. I think this was last week, was it?
Yeah.
About do you go to the bathroom in people's homes? I've always been fine with it. I've always done it. Yeah.
All of it?
All of it? All of it. Like 1, 2, and 3?
I don't even pee. I never peed in a customer's house.
Oh, seriously? I peed in a customer's house today.
That's cool. For me, I'm like super weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I've always just like, I always figure if I've got to go, I got to go. I will have always like a thing in my car that if I really need to use that, I can pee in. But I mean, if I got to go and I'm going to be uncomfortable doing the job, not do as good of a job because I'm rushing, then I better go to the bathroom in your house. And you go to the basement. You say, hey, I'm going to go clean the basement windows. And you just go down the basement. And we got a whole thing planned out.
Dude, I used to have a trailer. My first, I think even before I got a trailer first, like an enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
And there was a Gatorade bottle that the dude and his, the two guys would use, I guess. I think they each had their own or something. I don't remember. But one time I remember getting it back. This is before we had a shop. It was at my house. And I opened the back door and it had fallen off of the thing and it had gotten everywhere. So I opened it up to hot weekend long, stinky, just pee all over. I was like, we're done, y'all. You're just not doing that anymore.
Jim used to put Febreze. If he knew he had to go, you put Febreze in his bucket in the water and then bring it in to have it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you guys are planners.
Oh yeah, we were really good about this. But yeah, I'm total I have a couple of jobs that I know every single time for some reason at that job I always have to go to the bathroom. It's been for the last 5 years. It's just it's routine. I always have to use their bathroom every time.
Is it a nice bathroom?
Yeah, it's like a bank, restaurants, and they're always nice. And I always like, need the key again. Yeah, we know.
By the way, real quick, I know we're wrapping it up, but what happened to Louis Hay?
Oh man, did you not know?
Did I miss?
Louis is in the hospital in the ICU. That's what someone said on the Facebook. I texted him. I haven't heard back from him.
Is it confirmed? Anybody confirmed?
Well, I talked to him quite often. He went through me quite often for his orders, and I haven't heard from him in over a month, and he hasn't really been on the group at all. So I really hope that everything, goes well. But yeah, man, pretty sad. That guy's super positive, super nice guy. Started posting a lot really this year, kind of end of last year. And yeah, and he'd jump on chat all the time in the mornings just to say hi.
Yeah.
Just super nice, positive, older guy. And so I hope nothing bad happens, but
yeah.
Well,
if anybody knows anything, let us know. But
yeah, that's a hard one.
To end on a sad note, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Well, we'll answer this one question here real quickly from Glass Monkey. Have people asked you to wear masks inside? I haven't been asked to wear a mask inside in a very, very long time. Very, very long time.
Depends on where you are, I imagine. There's some areas that are still locked down, like in California in certain parts.
Okay, one last question from Chase Stockwell. Real quick, what's y'all's opinion on cleaning windows shirtless at a vacant home? I personally would not do it. Yeah, if that's something you want to do, I guess in the summer and you're alone.
I don't even go shirtless unless I mean, I know there's a lot of window cleaners that do go shirtless, but then they just send you pictures of them shirtless. But I wouldn't do that in a house. I don't even wear sleeveless stuff. I try to be I always just picture myself being against the bucket bobs.
Jersey's the type of guy to wear a jacket in Florida all day long.
Yes.
So
I'm southern and cold all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I mean, yeah, it was great catching up. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I will be what?
I was going to say, actually, you're going to be in Florida in 2 weeks, but actually it's not. That's 1 week. You'll be back.
We'll be here. We'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be here, and I will be down in Florida if you want to come out to the booth. What's that one called again?
PWMCA.
PWMCA. It's going to be at the Hyatt SeaWorld or something like that. So yeah. So come say hi. I think Martina will be there for a little bit too. So yeah, this should be fun. We have some products to give away towards the end. All that good stuff. Nice.
Well, cool.
All right, alrighty, guys.
Before we go, if you haven't gotten your subscription, shameless plug time. I gotta put it in there. American Window Cleaner Magazine. Go get a subscription. There you go.
Yes. Alrighty, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Monday. It will be almost March. Y'all will be getting busy, and we'll all be making tons of money. So it'll be great.
Boom. All right, guys. We'll see you later.